3 facts that must make you cry in Inside Out 2. Number 1. Immediately, Riley scored a goal everyone celebrating with a mixed emotion actually explains why the memory ball color is mixed. Number 2. As Joy asked Sadness for the very first time to follow her to the believer's room, what Anxiety said broke me.
I don't want to mess it up or break it or burn it to the ground or anything.
This made Joy console her. Number 3. As the Emotions was sleeping, as the camera slowly moves you can actually spot an action figure of Bing Bong, which reference her honor for him. 3 normal facts you noticed in Inside Out 2. Number 1. Out of pity as Riley rushed out of her seat in order to help Grace, Riley saying,
I drop things all the time.
This was just a statement of I can relate. Number 2. This scene wasn't only just beautiful to the characters themselves, but it was an upbeat message to other animation on graphic beautification. Number 3. As Riley parents came into the room to celebrate her and tell her how she's so good at playing hockey, if you notice the projection projected a sad memory on its own, referencing how the emotions will soon be useless. 3 kinda relaxing facts in Inside Out 2. Number 1. Firstly, Inside Out 2 is the best movie I have ever watched. At the end of the movie, Riley going to a university alone without her friends actually referenced growth and acceptance. Number 2. As Joy was introducing Anger, as Anger came up the console showing what he is made of, who else noticed the fact that his tongue is just floating on its own? Number 3. During Grace class presentation after the rough incident happened, originally Riley was not supposed to help her, but when the core memory established itself, she was pushed to go help her, referencing the fact that the core memory signifies love and care. Did you notice these 3 mind-blowing facts in Inside Out 2? Number 1. This scene was so beautiful as the bright shining dust led the way. Riley wanting Joy to take over the console again actually meant acceptance. Number 2. As Anxiety was asked to portray all the possible things that could go wrong with Riley, as she over-panicked mentioning death, Joy knew that the only thing that could save her was taking her to a message chair.
Oh, Riley has a Spanish test tomorrow.
Number 3. We can actually hear embarrassment speak at the very near end of the movie.
Yeah, right?
Did you notice these 3 heartbreaking facts in Inside Out 2? Number 1. As Joy struggled to enter into Anxiety mess, many actually thought Anxiety getting stuck in a particular spot was because of her over-hyperactive motion, while Pixar said it was a glitch. Number 2. This was actually said to be the saddest scene, when Anxiety said,
I was just trying to protect her. We don't get to choose who Riley is.
Number 3. Everyone is still blaming Anxiety and saying that she is the evil protagonist. Initially, Anxiety is not the only one that paid so much concern about taking over the core memory lane. Without hesitation, Joy was eager to do the same. Did you notice these 3 meaningful facts in Inside Out 2? Number 1. Regardless of all the hate and pain Pouchy got from Anger, at the end of the movie he became Anger best buddy and cover-up. Number 2. As Riley friends came over during her panic attack, paying so much concern, what Riley said next was just heartbreaking.
I'm so sorry. If you don't want to be friends anymore, I get it.
Number 3. As Riley friends came over, Grace and the other black girl accepting Riley back as their best friends actually played a reference to how strong their bond became when they first met. Did you notice these 3 devastating facts in Inside Out 2? Number 1. As Sadness managed to press the button in order to activate the tube for the other emotions to meet up, as Anxiety destroyed the tube out of anxiousness, leaving the emotions stranded, what Joy said broke all the audience.
I don't know.
Number 2. After all, the whole incident happened, leaving Joy sad and miserable. If you observe, the memory in the ball actually matched with her emotion at that moment. Number 3. Anger calling on Patchy just to save his friends signifies love, but later on he showed his hatred for Patchy by digging up his hands into his mouth for his own selfish desire. 3 facts that will surprise you in Inside Out 2. Number 1. Believe it or not, Anxiety is one of the best characteristics as an emotion, because she is the only one found that when she touches the console, she could make things in Riley's life go as planned. On the other hand, other emotions like embarrassment and sadness just make Riley cry and feel sad. Number 2. As the emotions fell, almost landing on the Earth's surface, fear surprised the audience for the very first time by bringing out a parachute from nowhere.
We made it! Come on!
Number 3. As anxiety pushes Riley so hard into sneaking into the coach office in order to read her book of record, Riley breaking down in tears is a reference to the fact that sadness took control of the console. Did you notice these 3 pressurizing facts in Inside Out 2? Number 1. Originally, when the movie began, it was only Joy that knew the passcode to the memory lane ride, but surprisingly Anxiety that just joined the crew knew the password all of a sudden. Number 2. As Joy was convincing the animators to quit working for Anxiety, telling them the good part of the story, as they got so overwhelmed, breaking their pencils, disorganizing their workplace with a pillow fight actually plays a reference on how animators lack freedom. Number 3. Normally, when Anxiety wants an idea, she gets a smaller light bulb for a perfect idea, but later on in the movie, out of greed and insufficient, she got the one that was bigger than the console itself. Did you notice these 3 insane facts in Inside Out 2? Number 1. As Riley got angry dyeing some part of her hair red, this actually plays a reference to that fact that she wanted to blend in with Val and her friends, so she won't feel left out. Number 2. In case you are all wondering why it was raining light bulbs, well, it was because Anxiety made Riley to overthink, so that means those light bulbs are actually her ideas. Number 3. Anxiety has control over everything. Who else noticed the fact that Anxiety has the same color as the ultimate idea light bulb she made off Riley's memory?